it's Friday, so we're going to play a little bit of a game. And it's not a creepy game, it's just a guessing game, so don't get too concerned. But there's a guy, he's a politician in a certain state, and I'm going to give you a couple hints before you're able to guess who I might be talking about. First, he said, we got to get these people in the cars. We got to force them to take this thing and get it in their arms. And if they don't, forget about it. He uses mafia-like intimidation, speech, and tactics. In fact, I don't know the difference between a Sopranos episode and a press conference when he gives one. If you don't know who I'm talking about by now, I'll give you one last hint. He reaches up women's skirts or down their blouses without their permission, against their will. He forces them to kiss him on the mouth. They don't like it. They've said a lot of things about it. But the media has remained silent like they always do, because they'll never betray one of their Democratic allies. Even if they 2 weeks ago said, yeah, we're really for, protecting women and, totally against rape and sexual battery and stuff like that. Right? The Me Too movement, wasn't that one of the things that the Democrats made a lot of noise about? I remember when President Trump said, grab him by the PU, fill in the blank, the rest. Well, you know what? He said it, all right? I'm here to tell you that if you're a human and you're a man, you might say something inappropriate once in a while, and it doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a rapist. And it also doesn't make you a misogynist. It just makes you a normal person that says inappropriate things and makes mistakes from time to time. But this guy has a pattern of sexual battery. He has a pattern of doing things like killing people, like senior citizens. Remember that? We forgot about that too really quickly. He forced senior citizens into homes knowing that forcing them into homes would kill them. And when he was called to the carpet on it, he had his people fudge the numbers. Right? So what do I mean by that? They said, Cuomo, how many people did you force into that nursing home? And if it was 1,000, he said 10. 10, forget about it. In most places that's considered murder, or at the very least manslaughter, because there was a clear intent. The intent being, we're going to take these people and force them into an unsafe place, even though we know it might lead to their death. I've got a little bit of a problem with that. So should you. So we're going to show you the clip, because the fact checkers are going to come along and they're going to say, no. This is misinformation. He never said that. He's not going to force people into cars. Here's the clip. Check it out.
And we have to get in those communities, and we have to knock on those doors, and we have to convince people and put them in a car and drive them and get that vaccine in their arm. That is the mission.
It's absolutely disgusting. Why do you think the rest of New York behaves like complete animals? Why do you think crime is up by hundreds of percentage points? Why do you think people are getting beaten in the streets? Well, when you have a mayor that runs the city, not following the rules, doing things like committing sexual battery on a weekly basis, I would say that the people are going to probably get the idea and perceive that they can get away with whatever they want. Right? Makes sense? Makes perfect sense to me. I don't know why the hell this guy is still in office, and this is exactly why, should we be fortunate enough to make it to 2022, which we will, because we will fight, we need to get these idiots out of office, replace them with people who care about you and the rest of their constituents. I'll be one of them. I'll put myself out there. I'll walk around and knock on doors. I'll introduce myself. I'll talk about my flaws. I'll talk about the things that I've done wrong. And I'll also talk about the things that I plan to do right and have done right. Because you know what I want above all else? Is for you to be free next year. I want your children to grow up in the same country that I did. The United States of America. that uses the Constitution as rule of law, that has politicians that basically follow the Constitution. So no more of this nonsense, no more of this gangster mentality, no more of this, well, you know, if you have a certain last name, you can basically get away with whatever you want, like smoking Parmesan cheese, committing illegal business dealings, etc., etc. If you watch my last video, you'll get that. He said, you know, they put that in the, he said, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, that life, liberty, etc. Yeah, okay, etc., Joe. You know what? You don't know where the hell you're at half the time, etc. That's where it makes sense to use it, because there's so many other things like that you are unaware of that are going on. That's where we would appropriately use etc. So until next time, I'll pray for you, law and order, this country, your families, freedom, liberty, and the continuity of the United States as we've always known it. I hope we look back on this past 7 or 8 months, or however long this idiot's been in the White House, and say, you know what? We're going to do it different next time. Kind of like Abraham Lincoln once did when he wrote the Emancipation Proclamation. And by the way, he was a Republican, not a Democrat. The Democrats sought to stop him in freeing the slaves. Racist my ass. My name's Jason Mariner, your host here at RealRepublicanNews.com.